Zinj was the most infamous of the post-Endor Imperial warlords. After the fracturing of the Empire, Zinj very quickly established his own government, powered by his super star destroyer, the Iron Fist, and its strong supporting fleet. For a time, Zinj's empire was the second most powerful, active and unified faction in the galaxy, representing a huge threat to the New Republic. In 7 ABY, after a series of attacks on the New Republic, a fleet was established with a singular task: hunting and killing the rogue warlord. Leading the fleet was perhaps a surprising character, hero of the rebellion Han Solo. I've been considering dedicating an entire series to the New Republic's hunt for Zinj. My next episode would probably be a breakdown of the warlord's fleet. Then I'd cover important battles, events, etc. But I'm only going to do so if you guys are interested, so make sure to like this video and also let me know down in the comments. Regardless, today's video is interesting and sets the groundwork for the New Republic's conflict against Zinj by specifically covering the fleet under Han Solo's command. And a quote from the book Solo Command gives the basics. His flagship was Mon Ramonda, one of the most powerful of the Mon Calamari cruisers, and its pilot complement, led by Wedge Antilles, couldn't be better. Also in this portion of his fleet were Mon Caron, a Mon Cal cruiser of more normal strength, Tadifium, a frigate recently converted from a training ship back to a combat vessel, and Etherhawk, a Marauder-class corvette that was just one restoration job ahead of being dilapidated. And note the key element of that passage: those ships were a portion of Solo's fleet, and the full force itself was made up of several subgroups, with those ships subgroup 1. I'll expand on that in a second, but let's first take a closer look at the Mon Ramonda. If you guys want a full breakdown of that ship, by the way, let me know. However, here are some basics from issue 96 of the Star Wars Fact File. After Endor, the New Republic realized that they needed to upgrade their cruiser level firepower and move towards more heavy powered ships to counter Imperial Star Destroyers. More on this tomorrow when I post a breakdown, analysis, and history of the New Republic Navy, but briefly, the first ship to fill this niche before the introduction of the MC-90 was the MC-80B. Compared to other Mon Cal cruisers, the MC-80B had an even stronger hull, augmented shield generators, and more room for fighters. Weaponry was comparable to prior Mon Cal variants, however, because of the better survivability and extra fighters, it was better suited to duking it out with Star Destroyers. The Mon Ramonda, which was an MC-80B, was one of the most powerful New Republic ships at the time of its commissioning, perhaps second to only Home 1. It was thus made flagship of the Solo fleet. Han described the second battle group as equally powerful as the first. It included another Mon Calamari cruiser, an Imperial Star Destroyer, a Quasar carrier, and a Nebulon B frigate. I really like the idea of having a dedicated Quasar within this battle group. It helped makes up for the poor complement of the Star Destroyer, which was only using its stock ties. That being said, I disagree with Han's opinion, and I think the first group is clearly the stronger of the two. Mon Ramonda is a fabulous vessel, and also had a fighter complement led by Wedge. Alongside the rest of Rogue Squadron, the Ramonda also launched Wraith Squadron and had dedicated A-Wing and B-Wing squads, giving it incredible versatility. Basically, the Mon Ramonda was sort of like a standard Mon Calamari cruiser and a Quasar fire carrier in one. That being said, I do like the extra versatility you get when you throw a Star Destroyer into a mixed fleet, especially because of the extra firepower, and the fact that the Star Destroyer is protected by smaller support ships and excellent starfighters is really a nice benefit. That leads in nicely to the third group, which consisted of 2 Star Destroyers, a Nebulon B frigate, and a CR-90. 2 Star Destroyers have considerably more firepower than 2 Mon Calamari cruisers, and this third group was thus sometimes used as a sort of blunt attack force, useful for targeting a single enemy or group of enemies, as the smaller, more versatile groups managed starfighters. This is actually exactly what happened at the Battle of Salagas. As most New Republic ships spread out, the Cyranid and the Allegiance pushed heavily to attack the bulk of Zinj's fleet. On a fleet-wide scale, the pattern of 2 cruisers to 2 support ships, or a 1-to-1 large to small ship ratio, is certainly not standard within New Republic naval doctrine. I'd expect to see a ratio of 1 large cruiser to perhaps 4 smaller ships. And this is really my main concern with the fleet. Why not throw in, for example, some smaller corvettes or frigates, especially where Zinj's fleet was very TIE fighter heavy? Also, why not include more medium strength cruisers to help bridge the gap between the Nebulon Bs, which are in every group by the way, and the Mon Cal cruisers or Star Destroyers? Something like a Dreadnought class heavy cruiser, I think, would be a nice addition. I also do want to recognize that this collection of forces was fairly substantial for the time of its creation. The New Republic was still relying mostly on former Rebel Alliance ships, so dedicating 3 Star Destroyers really shows the kind of threat that Zinj was. Speaking of Zinj, after his attack on Kuat, Solo Command was bolstered by the Stellar Web, an interdictor cruiser under the control of the Empire. Remember, Zinj was a warlord at this point, while an Imperial remnant formed which still maintained an element of legitimacy. The Empire saw Zinj as a threat, and thus the Stellar Web cooperated with the New Republic. An interdictor cruiser certainly adds numerous tactical options, but is also somewhat of a liability in the middle of battle, and needs ships to protect it. But guys, that is all for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and let me know whether you'd like to see a full breakdown of the hunt for Zinj over the coming months. Same goes for whether you want to learn more about the Mon Raymonda and the MC-80B line generally. Until next time guys, this has been Eckhart's Ladder. May the Force be with you.